Hi everyone, good morning, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that are that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. I do need to say it's a Merry Christmas. This is originally created for what day? I know it's Christmas, Sunday. It's the weekly reading, actually, not the daily reading. I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place right now. It is the weekly reading for the 25th, which is Christmas Day, through the 31st, which is New Year's Day of December. It's not solely set for that week. Like, if you're watching this just on a particular day, 3 years from now, and it's still, these cards make sense, and what I'm talking about makes sense to your situation, by all means, utilize it. Don't, get stuck on the date. Readings can be timeless. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the video of any of my daily or weekly videos. In there is just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to know about, what decks I'm using at the current time, how to follow me on social media or request a private reading from me via either Facebook or Instagram, and then also, simple ways to support the channel. And some ways that you can do that I greatly appreciate are hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing, sharing the video out, leaving a question or comment on the video. I do read them all. I do check them all out. Wow, guys, I can't believe we're at the last week of the year. I have the new decks for January set up, and I have some surprises coming, hopefully. So, just on the channel. But we will see how that all goes as the year progresses. So let's get into these cards and see what they want us to know. I also want to say this. If this video doesn't fit you or doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. I don't want you to think that you're doing something wrong or that anything's broken or that you're off your path or anything like that. I know that people that watch these videos can be fairly impressionable. What you always want to do is trust your own intuition over anything I say, right? So whatever feels right to you is right for you. And the clock just said 222 when I said that, so I'll take that as a confirmation. If it doesn't feel right or if what I'm saying doesn't really connect with you, that's okay. It doesn't mean that we're in the wrong place at all. It might mean the very opposite. You might be in actually the right place for you. Remember, this is a broad spectrum, all signs reading, so I'm speaking in broad terms to a lot of different people who may tune into this over the course of time. That's sort of like the concept of the reading of these videos. So don't get too attached, in other words. Like, take what you need and leave the rest. All right, so let's see what the cards want us to know. So the beginning of the week card, oh my God. I'm actually, well, maybe I'll turn the lights on just so you guys can see it. I just feel like that light makes it a little blurry. I was going to try, and I thought it looked soft lighting. I was like, ooh, mood lighting, Christmas morning, but we'll go with the regular lighting. All right, this bitch is back. I love this bitch. Like, we know her now, y'all. Like, we know her. And those of you that watch regularly, you know who she is. She's here creeping around, tiptoeing around her thoughts, being careful, trying to find that balance, trying to get herself to that little damn island. I love her and I love this card. I love this deck's depiction of this card, but I'm tired of seeing this card. It is the Six of Swords. Those of you that watch are probably laughing while you're watching this right now, and I hope you are. I certainly am, and laughter is a good thing. We can certainly use it during the holidays. This is the Six of Swords. This card has haunted the last 2 weeks of readings. And we still got a week to go. She's not moving out, this one. She's picking her swords so carefully that she hasn't gone anywhere just yet. She's letting us know that. So she is the underpinning energy, at least of the beginning part of this week. Again, this is about choosing our thoughts carefully. Our thoughts are powerful, guys, because it usually leads to words and communication. And so what we're thinking, or how we're thinking, is what we're generally going to put out into the world. We're putting out not only verbal communication, right, but also energetic communication. If we're vibing with something, and I'm not saying that, emotions are bad or being sad is bad. You have to honor those emotions within you. But also finding clarity, balance, and, logical use, putting those emotions to logical use to help you, embracing them and creating balance and then working forward, even if it's in small steps in the beginning of this week, by all means do so, right? I love that I've said this in other readings too, those pants make me think, her purple pants make me think of the crown chakra, which is, about our knowing. And I feel like this is a blend of, her emotions are calm enough that she can kind of process her thoughts and go to the next right thought. The next right thought. Is this the right thought? I'm not sure. Let me figure that out. Let me go through my knowing and my intuition and let me feel it through my emotions a little bit. And then I'll move to the next right thought. I'll move to the next right thought. And we're bringing ourselves into balance as we move out of 2022 and into 2023. Or if you're watching this 3 years from now, as we're moving out of one situation and into another, use the sort of explanation wherever it best fits in your life. But this is about taking responsibility for our thoughts, taking responsibility for our words, our actions, our intuition, and really utilizing it in a balanced manner that is going to hopefully carry us forward to whatever it is that we need or that is better suited for us, okay? Let's go to the midweek card. Oh, we haven't seen him yet. He's new. Look at this little hippie. I kind of love him. This is the Two of Wands. Not mad at the Two of Wands showing up. It's the element of fire and that of desire. It's also the element of spirit, right? It represents spirit. Two of Wands, to me, sometimes can be about, twos oftentimes are about couplings, right? I think of it in the sense of, or they can be about choices being made, right? When I look at this, some of you could be facing a choice of desire, a choice of what is it that I want, what is in alignment with my spirit, where is it that I'm going. I also get this sort of interesting feeling about, he's looking backwards into 2022 or into the past, let's just say, for those of you that might be watching this later. We have this moon up here as, representing that intuition, those purple pants on the previous card. And we also have this stuff down here, right? He's also got the similar roses that she has in the same position on the card. I feel like he's reflecting back on where he's been before he makes a decision to ditch this wand and move forward. He has everything he needs in his knapsack on the new wand, or on the wand that's carrying his bag of toiletries or magic tricks or God knows, candy, whatever's in there, M&Ms, I don't know. But I do feel like this might be a period of reflection and seeing alignment in where we're heading. The reason why I say this also, another reason, is this path leads forward in this direction, which is always, to me, the future in my readings, is this direction on the wooden holder. When they're facing this way, they're moving forward. She's moving forward. He's stopping, pausing, checking with the thoughts and the reset that she's created. He's standing there, stopping and going, okay, well, that was a shit year, or that was a shit situation, or that was challenging back there, but I've left that back there. I've emotionally traveled past and beyond that, and I'm now headed to something new and unknown, but I'm going to allow my intuition to trust me, to trust my intuition to trust me. And I'm going to let my intuition and my desire, my spirit sort of guide me. I'm doing one last sort of inventory, or one last sort of check-in. The clouds also can represent, on the skyline there, a little bit of confusion or challenge that we faced, that we've made our way through at this point. It's from all of this Six of Wands. It's from that chick dancing on those, Six of Swords. It's from all of those times we've seen that chick dancing on those swords these last few weeks. Is we've finally maybe gotten some clarity and we're ready to move. But I feel like there is this sort of, I don't know, nostalgia, which this is not traditionally a Two of Wands card, but it could be a bit of nostalgia or reckoning or recollection or inventory of what we've just been through, so we really understand exactly what we have in our little knapsack there, what we've learned, and be fully ready to kind of leave this wand here and move forward. Does that make sense? Wands also represent new growth too, new opportunities in that way, and they can represent travel. So this feels like one last minute pause in the midweek of this week to kind of refresh in a way and look at everything for what it is, and start the journey into the new year, or into a new situation, a new relationship, a new partnership, a new whatever it may be for you, okay? And I think that it's going to be driven by more our spirit, obviously, because this is wands, by our desire, and also by the moon, like, which would be our intuition, our guidance, right? And that's why we need that Six of Swords ahead of this, to feed the fire of these wands and the desire that needs to push us forward, right? I'm going to kill the dogs. I don't know why they always want to bark when I'm doing readings. Like, nobody comes in here, nobody... It's freezing outside. We're literally having a freezing, like a hard freeze for the next 5 days. It's ridiculous. What are you barking at? Sorry, guys. Cut it out, please. All right. So, the last card is the Five of Discs. All right. Five of Discs is usually the out in the cold card, right? The Five of Pentacles. This is earth energy. It represents the body. Fives are transitory. They don't last long. I'll say that. I don't like that he's turned around heading with all of these discs on his back. I do like that the sun is there, and I do like the firmly rooted tree, which to me speaks to like grounding and growth. But he doesn't look like he's having the best of time moving into the end of the week. There might be some 3D stuff that, and what I mean by 3D is I mean like issues of the third dimension, in essence, like our job or our friends, our families, our relationships at the 3D level, right? Because Pentacles would represent Earth. Earth to me is the densest of the vibrations of the cards. It's the 3D level, essentially. It's the earthbound stuff. It's material wealth, it's gain, it's jobs, it's money. We might be walking into 2023 still carrying some of that on our back. But what I do think is that that tree being in the forward part of the card and the sun being above him speaks to this idea that we won't be carrying this long, is my feeling. That those roots to me keep drawing my attention on that tree. Like, in other words, we need to firmly ground ourselves as we carry whatever, remnants of the past with us into the future, knowing that at some point in time, and these remnants are going to be byproducts of our day-to-day life, is my feeling, right? And I feel like the transition in this is the rearrangement of what we carry on our backs, or what we carry on our minds, or how we carry it going forward. And at first it may feel, because the Five of Pentacles is oftentimes seen as a setback card or being left out in the cold. I don't feel that with this guy. I feel like he's a little overworked and a little stressed, right? But he's getting ready to kind of drop these pentacles and rearrange them, or make a decision as to what gets to come with us moving forward. And that's the transition of the Five. And I think that the decision with the sun up there and the firmly rooted tree representing growth to me, like strength and growth too, because that tree is no joke. We will make the right decision, like from a practical place too. From a logical, discerning place, that would be Pentacles energy, but the sun is like oftentimes a positive symbol in tarot. So to me, like, the truth is, being shown to us. We also have truth in that clarity of the Six of Swords, the truth in the Two of Wands, right? Of doing that sort of reflective work and that mind clearing work, so to speak, to be prepared to start to address what's going on. Because let's look at it this way. This is the densest layer, right? I would say the second densest is probably, it's a toss up to me between water, cups, and air swords, right? I would say water is the second densest in a way, and then because you can't really touch or capture air in a way. So air would be next, and then fire would be last. The highest of the vibrations, in my opinion, right? Because that's spirit. So it's like we're clearing our thoughts at the mind at the higher level, and at the highest of levels, the spirit, right? And then we're bringing it down at the end of the week into, okay, how do I practically apply these things that I've learned to some of the situations that I've been carrying on my back in the 3D for this long? Does that make sense? And although I might be carrying some of these things into 2023 with me, I'm going to find some sort of grounded solution and clarity around them. That's the sun and the tree, okay? I think that makes sense. All right, so let's go to the Divine Abundance cards. The other interesting thing I do want to say, guys, is that it's kind of cool that this year we end on a Sunday, so we'll start with brand new decks on the 1st of January, which is the new weekly reading. I thought that was kind of a cool timing thing. All right, oh my god, she was in yesterday's reading. Right action. I can never say this word too, and I just don't know why I get this card all the time. Aparigraha literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. Now, this woman is wide open to all of the possibilities, right? She's wide open in a joyous and free kind of way. That's the blue color of her, the birds flying around her, the leaves blowing around her, the universe like kind of giving it to her because she's open to receiving it. We need to clear our thoughts through that Six of Swords to be allowed to sort of let go and be free and move forward. We saw the Freedom Stone as the last grounding stone of last week's readings, and we're not quite yet free. I'm going to say that with this Five of Pentacles picture at the end of the week here. We're still dealing with carrying some of the burdens of the 3D world on us, but I will say this, there's some really beautiful, intricate designs happening in here, like with this bird, this flower. It's not all bad, but it needs to shift, and we know it, or we've known it for a while. And this right action is about just trusting our intuition at the beginning of the week and our thoughts through the midweek, and then making practical decisions at the end of the week to make changes or shifts or releases or transitions in our 3D world that allow us to lighten our load, so to speak, that allow us to ground and grow stronger, to allow us to bring us more clarity, more vision, more, joy in 2023 or in whatever situation we're heading towards, right? So let's go to the clarifiers really quick and clarify these guys, and let's see what's going on. First, we have the Four of Pentacles. A little bit of lack and limitation. He can also be, to me, about being really grounded this week, staying as firm as we can in what we know to be true, especially in the 3D world. Some of us might have our nose to the grindstone financially or work-wise. We're very focused and trying to not pay attention to too much other stuff right now as we finish out the year, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Fours to me always mean steady foundation in a way, because I think of four legs on a table, right? It makes it stable. So this could be some of you either getting your money stable or focusing on, finishing out your financial year, finishing out your there just seems to be a focus of security with this card. Sometimes this card can be about being stingy or miserly, but I don't feel that. This feels more about protection. This card can represent resistance, but I don't feel the resistance. I feel this is about us going no, I need this right now, personally. And the reason why I feel that is because of the previous cards that we've just looked at. That Six of Swords beginning the week off says to me that we are still taking care of ourselves first and foremost. Two of Wands would indicate the same thing. And even that Five of Pentacles, it's we need to find this stability and let off a little bit of some of the burden. And we may actually do so from the 5 to the 4, right? Where we get our pentacles or our 3D relationships arranged in a way that actually is more stable or productive for us, rather than, willy-nilly falling off our back like the Five of Pentacles indicates, okay? The next card is the Nine of Wands. Again, another Wands reflection card, and he's looking back to the past also. Nines are about personal completion. That can be personal completion with the year of 2022. It can be personal completion within a situation. It is about finding the answers within at a level of spirit. It's about finding and understanding the hardships that we've been in that can then serve to protect us or serve to allow us to work smarter, not harder, in a way. This is a guy that's been to battle. He's had a rough time. Let's just face it. 2022 was hard on a lot of us. This could be a situation that we've just been through that we're now trying to think better about, that we're trying to clear our thoughts. That's the Two of Wands in the midweek. It's we're trying to recollect on the past and go okay, I made it through that. Now, what have I learned from that? And that's this Nine of Wands energy, right? Where he can then take what he's learned through adversity, through challenges, and use those things to better himself or to secure himself. I get this deep sense between the 9 and the 4. I'll say this in the clarifiers. There's a lot of self-protection or self-preservation going on this week, and not from a scared place. It feels more from like, honestly, self-care and wisdom through hardship is my feeling. Let's see what the third card is really. Oh, Jesus. Eight of Swords. Talk about barricading ourselves in. Are we going to lock ourselves in the goddamn, like, attic this week? Are we hiding out from our family? What are we doing, people? There's definitely this sort of shutting out of the outside world, I feel like, a little bit. And I'm not mad at that, to be honest, in the sense of that Six of Swords that kicks off the week is about listening to our own thoughts and what we communicate and finding what's in balance with us. The Two of Wands is about what do I desire? You know, when I was saying twos can be about relationships, they can be about the relationship to the self also. So it's like maybe we're having a conversation in our mind at the beginning of the week, clearing it out so that we can have the conversation at the midweek with ourselves as to what it is we truly desire spiritually, and start to turn towards that this year or at this time through right action and being open to what it is that we need and what it is that we deserve, and start to let go of some of the burdensome things that we've held on to in the 3D that maybe aren't ours. That would be the Five of Pentacles, right? Four of Pentacles is, again, I'm going to go back down there and say I think he's holding security or stability for us this week. I don't get miserly off of him. I get more secure protection, protecting his heart, his head, his mind. Even that pentacle sitting on his head to me feels like the clarity of the Six of Swords that we see at the beginning of the week. And the Eight of Swords can be about being stuck in one's thoughts, feeling trapped, insecure, that sort of thing, and not being able to see the total truth that's around you. That's the blindfold that's depicted on her. But what she doesn't know, or what the sort of traditional meaning of the card is, what you don't realize is that, like, when you step forward in faith, right, you realize that there's no swords in front of you. They're only like all around the sides of you, and if you're focusing solely on those swords and the worry of those swords, you will feel trapped. But there is a way out. There's always a way out with the Eight of Swords. But to me, I'm getting more of this barricaded feeling from these three cards this week. And barricaded is really a good word. Like, I feel like we're shoring ourselves up to shut out the outside world. And I think it's in an effort so that we can clear our minds, so that we can clear our spirit through the Two of Wands, so that we can address issues in our 3D world through the Five of Pentacles this week, to set ourselves up to be open to what does belong to us and what doesn't. And we may have to go through some limiting thoughts through the Eight of Swords, or through recollection of some challenges that we've learned through the Nine of Wands. We might have to hold our ground or draw a boundary with the Four of Pentacles in the 3D world within our relationships or at work. But whatever we're doing it from a place of like self-preservation, self-protection, and even self-care. So I like that a lot. Let's look at the grounding stone. We might even, I'll just say this, we might even be just trying to find a space. Oh wow, I just put 2 new grounding stones in, guys, and one of them came out. That's crazy. And they're glass, and I bought them in Lilydale a while back when I went to a mediumship training, and it's interesting because I just put them in this morning, and one of them just popped right back out, and I dug way down to the bottom of the bag. Very cool. So what I was going to just say, I lost my thought. This just feels like we might be taking our own counsel very, very, very seriously this week. And we need to be clear in doing so, if that makes sense. The grounding stone, this is on glass, but I put it in the grounding stone bag, is tolerance. I love that it matches. Oh, and it's going to roll. Come on. Oh, come on, tolerance. This reading is a mess. Come on, girl. Oh, tolerance. Tolerance, you're making me be tolerant of you. Hold on one second. Let's get Metatron in here to help. Ugh. Will she stay? Will she stay? She'll stay. All right. Thank you, Metatron. Tolerance done come up in here and made a mess of everything. All right. Well, we'll tolerate that. What I was going to say is I love how she matches the clothes of all the 3. First and foremost, the glass matches the clothes of all 3 of the clarifying cards. Do you see the robe color match? The tolerance to me is, I think, honestly, about allowing people, situations, relationships, jobs, perturbances to be what they are. To not get caught up in the negativity of it all or others' negativity. To acknowledge and maybe practice more empathy with situations and allow situations to be as they are. And for us to go inward and behind this sort of barricaded feeling that I'm getting from these clarifiers, where we can sort of just, have tolerance for the situation as it is and not necessarily try to transform it or change it, fight against it, worry about it. Remember, right action is about, just allowing things to be, and whatever's meant for me will come to me, and whatever's not will go. And living in that is really a sense of freedom. So that is your forecast for the day. For the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, by all means, let me know in the comments section. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video out. I greatly appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful holiday season, you guys. Merry Christmas, because this is actually the Christmas reading. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this energy builds. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. And Texas people, stay warm. Bye-bye.